When I think of the work that Megan Collings-Moore as our chaplain and Marilyn Moulton, the director of our Renison Institute for Ministry, have offered over these many years in the shared project of the best becoming of the Diocese of Huron and Renison University College, I'm reminded of a wise woman from history whom I deeply admire. Julian of Norwich, you may be familiar with her theology. She lived in the 15th century. I'm struck in particular of one of Julian's illuminations. She talks about looking down at the palm of her hand and seeing in the palm of her hand a small hazelnut. And then the voice of God saying that in that hazelnut, everything that needs to be known is known, because one can see in it all that was ever made, all that we need to know, which is that God made it, God loves it, and God keeps it.
I'm Matthew Kieswetter. I'm an alumnus of Renison from 2006. I'm an occasional RIM presenter. I'm currently on the board of governors of Renison. And before all of that, Renison's chapel in a Lenten activity is where I was introduced to the life and thought of Thomas Merton. And that's probably why I'm a Christian today.
Hi, my name's Kayla. I graduated from Renison about 2 years ago. I finished my master's in religion, culture, and global justice at Laurier University last year. And I am a former Don with Renison, and I've spent much of my university career sitting in the ministry center.
So tell us a bit about the creation, the genesis of the ministry center space.
Well, the genesis of it was way back in around 2002. It was in my first year when at Renison, and I went to a conference with the North American Association for the Catechumenate. And there I encountered this idea of a front porch church. And it was a metaphorical front church in the sense of how does a church orient to the world and encounter the world. But I thought maybe Renison needs a literal front porch so we can have a metaphorical front porch.
One memorable year, Marilyn brought in a huge branch from her backyard that we put in a bucket full of rocks. And then we had our work study student cut out hundreds of colored paper leaves, and people could write on them what they were thankful for. It was quite remarkable. And that was just as a way, of trying to engage with people who might not make it through our door, but could see in and could see that there was good stuff happening.
I think from my perspective, both as a former resident, but also in my time as a Don, I've really seen how the ministry center can be the most genuine and true form of a safe space.
It's been remarkable, I think, to both of us. We joke around, at first we had to say to people, it's okay, you don't have to pray when you come into this space, because we did have people, including faculty, who asked that. It really became a place where actually lots of people who'd been really hurt by religious institutions, not just Christianity, but by religious institutions. It became a place where they could come in and do some exploration of maybe faith could be affirming, maybe faith could be inclusive, maybe faith could be something that helped redeem their lives.
It's been transformative for us as well, because in the hearing and the listening and the sharing of stories, we simply don't remain the same after that.
So what has it been like over the past year to not have access to the ministry center and this home that you've created?
It's been really hard. I mean, part of, for the ministry center, for the Institute of Ministry, is the value that we place on gathering.
I think we have a renewed appreciation of face-to-face gathering. And honestly, I also have a renewed appreciation of that physical space.
In a nutshell, in a Julian of Norwich, maybe hazelnut shell, unintended, can you tell us, what does the ministry center mean to you?
I think that is partly what it means, right? She said, right, you can see the whole of creation in that hazelnut. I think that was my experience, right? That there was the whole of creation and the whole of the church and the whole of the faith experience found within the ministry center.
The really beautiful sense of encountering one another. And in all of the ordinary. I mean, extraordinary things happen in the ministry center through very ordinary means.
For a moment, let us return to the wisdom of Julian of Norwich. In her revelations, she wrote beautifully what God had shown her. All will be well, and all manner of things shall be well. Renison, as with the Synod and the world, are living in the middle of a change time. As we celebrate the work of Megan and Marilyn, we are also gripped by a sense of deep loss and an awareness that change is a frightening thing. And yet we are reminded, as we celebrate and as we worry, of Julian's wisdom. And so, as we let go of the old and turn toward the new, we do entirely trust in God that all manner of things shall be well.